Hey everybody, Congressman Mark Green, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. We're still talking about Secretary Mayorkas, and last week we talked about dereliction of duty. This week we're talking about his outright lies, both to the American people and to the Congress, as well as his admitted incompetence. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the lies. I only have a few examples on the whiteboard, but he talks about the border being secure. Look, this is the least secure border we've had in the history of the country. More people have come into the country in the last 2.5 years than all 12 years of the previous administration. The border is not secure. It's insane to suggest it. Anyone who has reasonable, honest decision making is going to say, "Hey, wait, that's an insecure border." We know hundreds of thousands of Americans have died from fentanyl overdose. The cartels are running crazy. Look, it's not a secure border. And even Chief Ortiz, the Border Patrol chief under President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas, admitted that 5 of the 9 sectors were not secure. The Secretary keeps talking about 70% decrease, and he talks about how the CBP App has been the savior of the problem post Title 42. That's quite honest. I mean, that's deception at least, because what they're doing is they're rerouting the numbers through the app and creating mass parole against the laws passed by Congress, by the way. So this is just a shell game. They're putting the numbers in another stack. Remember the mounted Border Patrol and this accusation that these guys were whipping migrants? After subpoenaing and after Heritage sued the administration for emails, it was found out that he knew all along that there was no whipping. And yet he went out on national television and said, "Hey, we're going to look at this, we're going to investigate, this is horrible." But he knew all along that it wasn't whipping. Deception to the American people. In terms of lying to Congress, look, Chip Roy held up the definition of operational control in the legislature, in the laws. It's written into the code, the definition of what is operational control of the southern border. Do we have operational control? According to this definition that's in the code, Secretary Mayorkas said, absolutely, we've got control. Well, later, of course, Ortiz admitted we didn't have operational control by that definition, and he was forced to admit in the Senate that no one's ever had operational control by that definition, meaning that when it was read to him in the House, he lied to the United States Congress under oath, hands down. Let's talk a little bit about his incompetence. In Senate testimony, he admitted that he didn't understand the actual overall strategy of the drug cartels of overwhelming the crossing sites so that the Border Patrol has to go there and then bringing the drugs in around those neutralized Border Patrol agents. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, said, yeah, this is absolutely the strategy of the drug cartels. The Secretary of Homeland Security, the guy charged with securing the border, didn't know that? I mean, imagine an Army general who didn't understand the strategy of our enemy. We would fire that Army general in a heartbeat. Here, the Secretary of Homeland Security admits he didn't understand the strategic methodologies of the drug cartels he's having to contend with. And then later in the same testimony, he admitted that he didn't even know about the colored armbands that the cartels were using to tactically determine which ones had paid their money to be trafficked through Mexico. So here's a very clear secretary who is totally incompetent, doesn't get the tactics or the strategy of the drug cartels, and he admits it in the Senate. And of course, I could go on and on about the failures at the border, the massive patrols, parole, which is a clear violation of the Immigration and Naturalization Act. He's breaking, he's not enforcing, choosing to do things in contradiction to the laws written by this body. I mean, it's just complete incompetence and dishonesty. That's Whiteboard Wednesday.